cheese is obtained from the milk and milk is obtained from the cow. Same way, sauces is obtained from the meat and fishes and it is obtained from the animals. So basically, when we are obtaining food from the animals, we call it is obtained from the animal resource. Okay, so now we are going to study in detail what are animal resources. So animal products like meat, egg, honey, milk, cheese, butter and curd are eaten by human beings and all these are the animal products. So meat of some animals like goat, chicken, fish, prawns, these are commonly eaten by the non-vegetarian people. Now hen's egg is the most common bird egg eaten in the world. It is rich source of protein and vitamins. And honey is also a part of the animal resource only. Sorry. Because honey is a sweet liquid which is made by bees from the nectar of flowers. So bees are collecting the nectars and then they are keeping it in the beehives and then they are storing it, and after some time it converts into, when it gets collected, it converts into honey. So now this honey is used in cooking and it has also very good medicinal values. Now as you can see in this table, there are so many products, so you can see what is common in between them. There is milk, butter, you can see paneer, cheese. Okay, so what is common in them? The common thing is that these are the milk products. So what is milk? Milk is obtained from animals only, like cows, buffalo and goat, and it is very nutritious food item and a rich source of protein also. So milk also contains calcium which is required for proper bone growth and nerve function. Okay, so milk is also called complete food, but don't think that by drinking milk only you will get all the balanced diet in your food. You need to eat other things also, but still milk is having calcium, milk is having protein. That is why we say that it is having a very good nutritional value. Now the products which we obtain from the milk, how we are obtaining it, like paneer, when we do curdling, it is converted into paneer. So milk is converted into paneer. How it is converted? When you will add a little amount of vinegar or lemon juice in the hot milk and you will heat it for some time, what will happen? All the protein will become solid and the rest of the things like water content of milk will be separated from the paneer. So in this way you can take out all the protein part, which is the solid part, and it will be your protein part and it is called paneer. So this process was curdling, and through this curdling process you can convert milk into paneer. Now next is cheese. How the cheese is made? It is also made from the curdled milk of cow, goat, sheep or buffalo, and it is a more dried form than the paneer. Now what is cream? Cream is made by collecting the top fatty layer of the milk. You must have seen your mother collecting cream at home. Now butter. Butter is made by churning fresh milk. So when you're churning the fresh milk, fresh cream which you have stored for some time, so what you can get? You can get the butter. Okay. Now ghee. How ghee will be obtained? If you will heat butter and it will remove all the solid part which is present in that butter. So what will remain at last? The liquid part which will remain at last in hot condition, it will be ghee. Okay. Now after the milk product, now we come to the next topic, which is types of animals based on feeding habits. So now you know that different types of animals have different types of feeding habits. For example, some animals, they like to eat or they eat only the plant product. They are not able to eat or they are not having those special characteristics to eat the non-veg or flesh. Okay, so the animals which are eating only plant, these are called herbivores, and the animals which are eating only animals, these are called carnivores. And some animals which are eating, sometimes these are eating animals, sometimes these are eating plants, so we call them What we call them? Omnivores. The center part. So animals which are coming in center means which are in both the circles, in the circle of herbivores also, in the circle of carnivores also, we call them omnivores. Now we are going to study in detail. So you can see there are some pictures of some animals which are herbivore, carnivore, omnivore. So you can pause it and you can see it clearly and you can recognize them. So it will be helpful for you. Now we are moving to their characteristics. Now in herbivores, what are the special characters present? So before that, I would like to tell you that herbivores term is made from two terms. First is herbi. Herbi means plants, and next is ores. Vores means eater. Okay, so the animals which are plant eater, we call them herbivores. For example, cow, deer, horse, squirrel, butterfly, all these are the herbivores. Now what are the special characteristics of herbivores? They have wide blunt teeth suitable for pulling plants off the ground and grinding them. Because plants are, they have to pull it. For example, all these kettles like cows, buffaloes, goats, they have to pull the grass. So what kind of teeth they are having? They are having blunt teeth so that their grip will be strong. They can strongly pull the grass or plant from its roots. Next thing, what is important for the herbivores? They have the ability to bring back previously swallowed food to the mouth for chewing in the second time. Now you must have seen that sometimes cows, buffaloes, when these are sitting, they keep on gnawing and they keep on, and some froth type of things is coming from their mouth. So what happens there? At that time, they are actually bringing back the previously swallowed food only. So when they eat grass, they eat it hastily. Okay, very like speedily they eat all the grass, and once it is eaten, it goes in their stomach, and because of their stomach, their structure is different from the other animals. So what happens, the part which is undigested, it comes back to their mouth. Okay, and again they chew it second time. So by doing this, it helps in the digestion of those plants. So you know why it is difficult to eat the grass? Can any normal people, then they can eat the grass? No, human beings cannot eat the grass. Many other animals cannot eat the grass. Only grazing animals like these cow, buffaloes, deer, and your horse, squirrel, all these are able to eat the grass, eat the leaf, eat the grass. And you know why? Because in grass or in plant there are a very hard substance, you can say, cell wall, which gives strength to the plant or rigidity to the plant. And this cell wall is containing cellulose. So this cellulose is very important part which is present in all the plants. And because to digest cellulose, it is very hard to digest it, and the stomach pattern or stomach structure, you can say, in animals other than grazing animals, it is not suitable. That is why they are not able to digest plants directly. Clear? So only grazing animals which are having special structure of stomach, they are able to eat it and digest it, and they can again get the undigested cellulose part or the grass part back into their mouth, and they keep on gnawing. Okay, now squirrels, they are also having some special characters like a pair of broad sharp edged front teeth, we call them incisors, in each jaw, and they use these teeth to gnaw the food items like nuts. Now in butterfly and hummingbird, do you think they are also having teeth? No, they don't need to chew the food. Why? Because their mouth part are different. It is like a straw, and they put this straw in the flower and they suck the nectar from the flowers. Okay, so these are the special characters which are present in herbivores. Now we are going to study about the next part, which is our carnivores. Now in carnivores, animals, carni means meat and vor is again eater. So the animals which are meat eater, which are eating flesh of other animals, we call them carnivores. For example, your lion, tiger, jackal, vulture, owl. Okay, all these are the carnivores. Now, spatial characteristic. So, when something is or any animal is carnivore, what is the important thing they need? They need some sharp tool to tear to get the flesh away from the animal's body. So, for that purpose, they are having sharp and pointed teeth. We call them canines. Their canines are very much developed, very sharp and very pointed. They also have sharp claws and powerful jaws which help them to tear the flesh. Okay? Now, second thing, like in the birds which are carnivorous, for example, eagle, they have curved or pointed beaks so that they can tear the flesh with the help of beaks only, and they can easily consume it. Next, chameleon or frog. These are also the carnivores, and they have a long sticky tongue that they use to catch insects. So this is the special characteristics which chameleon is having. Now, carnivorous fish like shark has several small sharp teeth, and these also help them into biting and chunking the flesh. Next is omnivores. Omni means all. So wherever there is a word omni, okay, prefix omni is there. That means we are talking about all or everywhere. So all, omni, all, and word is eater. So anything which is eating everything, okay, which can eat everything, or all eater, we call them omnivores. So in omnivores, which kind of animals will come? Those who can eat plants also and flesh of other animals also. For example, bear, raccoon, crow, and human beings. Now, special characters, they have different types of teeth that help them to eat both plants and flesh of other animals also. And omnivorous birds like crow have a sharp and pointed beak to help them eat a variety of food. Okay. Now, there is one more variety of animals, or you can say the different types of uh, organisms which can also work, which are also eating other organisms. But how these are eating? Now you will see scavengers. Scavengers are the animals which are, instead of hunting live animals, what they do, these may be some birds or animals which are eating the flesh of other animals that are already dead. For example, vultures, hyena, these animals or birds are called scavengers. Okay. Now next is decomposers. What is decomposers? You must have seen that if you have seen any dead body of any insect or any kind of you can say animal, small animal or big animal, so you must have seen that after some days or after some time, the body of that animal gets degraded. Degraded means broken down into small pieces. So do you wonder how it can be broken down into small pieces? It is breaking down because of these small decomposers, and these decomposers are the microorganisms actually. Micro, why micro? Because you cannot see them with your naked eyes. You need a microscope to see them, and that is why we call them microorganisms. So the organisms which feed on and destroy or decompose dead plants and animals like fungi and bacteria are called decomposers. And do you know, if scavengers or decomposers will not be there on earth, what will happen? It will become a dump yard of the dead bodies, because it will because nobody will be there to clean them, to digest them, to break them down into small pieces. So because scavengers and decomposers like vultures, hyena, or other animals or other microorganisms, fungi, all these, because these are decomposing the dead material, dead plant, dead animals, and then mixing it into the soil, into the ground. That is why it is cleaning the earth. Okay, so hence we can call them nature's cleaners. So who are the nature's cleaners? All the scavengers and decomposers. So any example which fall into scavengers or decomposers, you can say these are the nature's cleaner. Okay, I hope it is clear to you. Now the last part where we come, that when we are talking about food, you know that plant is the first one and plant is the producer, as I told you earlier. So because plant is getting the sunlight and it is trapping energy from the sunlight, and then it is storing it in their body in the form of a starch, and then other animals which are dependent on them, they eat them and they also get the energy. Now what is food chain? For example, if you are eating something, okay, and someone else is eating that, or take just one example here. For example, a grass or plant which is getting energy, or which is trapping energy from sunlight through the process of photosynthesis. What they are doing, they are getting their plant, or they are getting their food from those plants, and they are trapping energy from there. Okay, now once this grasshopper, which you can see, it has eaten that grass or seeds or flowers from there, so what will happen? It is eating it first time, so we call it primary consumer. What we call it? Primary consumer, because it is consuming. In the same way, like you go to market, you buy something, you consume it. Okay, so you are the consumer, isn't it? In the same way, they are also going to the plant, they are eating the things, and they are becoming the consumer. And why they are primary consumer? Because they are at the first level. Their first time, they are just directly from the producer, they are taking the things, they are eating the food. Okay, so they are primary, like you are coming from the primary to the secondary department. Okay, so primary means the first one. Clear? Now you can see that there is a frog in this picture, and this frog is eating this grasshopper, because frog eats insects. Grasshopper is an insect. So now, because it is eating the grasshopper, so it is the secondary consumer, because from where energy is coming, do not forget, the energy is coming from the producer. Who is the producer? These plants. Okay, so from the plants, energy is going to the first primary consumer, then from primary consumer it is going to the secondary consumer, which is frog. Now from the frog, where the energy will go? Energy will go to the third consumer, snake, because the snake is eating frog. Understood? So this is called tertiary consumer. Now do not confuse with these words, these are just for your knowledge. Like primary means first, secondary means two, you can say second, and tertiary means three. Okay, so 1 2 3, these are just the name for 1 2 3 steps. Okay, so this tertiary consumer, now who is eating this snake? The hawk. So hawk is the taking it from the snake, and it is getting energy at the fourth level. So it is the final consumer, because no one is going to eat hawk. Now when hawk will die, what will happen? When it will be dead, because you know that scavengers and decomposers act on the dead animal or dead plant only. Okay, so they will wait for it to die. Understood? So this is a final consumer. Nobody is eating it directly, but when it is dying, when this final consumer is dying, so what will happen? Its body will be decomposed or broken down into small pieces by fungi and small microorganisms. Understood? So the whole cycle, when something is being eaten up by another thing, and the energy from plant, from sunlight to the plant, then to all the consumers, is going moving and again going back into soil only. So we call this complete chain as a food chain, because here all the animals or plants, these are related with each other in a chain. And why they are related? They are related because of food, because everyone is getting their food from something. Understood? So we call it a food chain. Now I will tell you a little more detail about the food chain. Like a food chain shows how each living thing gets food, and how nutrients and energy are passed from creature to creature. What is creature here? Anything which is living being, we call them creature. Now, food chains begin with the plant life and end with animal life. Some animals eat plants, some animals eat other animals. A simple food chain could start with grass, which is eaten by rabbits. So, this is a simple example of food chain which you have already seen. I have explained in detail. Now, there are some keywords like ingredients, edible parts, nectar, curdling, sprouted seeds, herbivores, cellulose, and carnivore, omnivore, scavenger, decomposer, microorganisms, enzymes. So these are the important keywords which you can note down and which you can learn. We have discussed all these keywords in very detail. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. And that's all about this chapter. And I hope that you understood the chapter. And we will see some worksheets very soon. And I will send you all the worksheets. So thank you for watching it.